Are you ready?
Seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts
right here, right
This
now.
is a message to all the haters out there. If you don't like what I do, but you watch everything I'm doing, you're still a fan.
I ain't even wrote. This a God-given talent, something I ain't even chose. Nah, flowing through me, I ain't even spoke. Wait, little bit of Jig, little bit of Mac Miller, little bit of Vic, little bit of Matt Dillon. Made it off beats like Dilla, feeling like Eminem with the juice like Godzilla. Told him I don't wanna give it up. Every day when I wake up, I live it up. Took it the furthest like I hit a triple jump. 50 a show when I showed us the minimum. Lots of phone calls, I'm the one they asked for. I'ma shoot my shot, don't know what I'd ever pass for. Been around the globe, go ahead and check your passport. Family, my task force, they the only ones I go to bat for. Step in the bank.
What's going on, everybody? This is your main man, Ox Smooth Baron, and you're tuned in to Hog HQ. Woo! Pig Sue! Wee! Go Hogs!
But these kids, I'm so proud of them, how they play and fight and persevered. They threw us in the coffin. They just forgot the nails. We pushed it open and we come out.
They threw us in the coffin and just forgot the nails. Shout out to Coach Kyle and the guys for making it happen. Once again, it's March Madness, guys. We're in the Sweet 16. We're going to tap into all that tonight. But we got to do the intro. You know how I go. Welcome to another episode of Hog HQ Live, brought to you by the Hog Talk Podcast. And as always, you know, the motto, hashtag tell a friend, that we're back again with another episode. Transplanted Texan, I seen you was in here. I seen you been here since what, 8:42?
Your time.
Yeah, 7:42 your time. Hey, that man dedicated to the process. Thanks for tapping in, Nichols, checking us out from YouTube. Shout out to my Let's Go already. They forgot the nails. Hell yeah. But yeah, either way it go, we tapped in. Tell a friend. Please share this with somebody that's interested in what's going on recently. We also know we're competing with the tournament, but our loyal fans are always here to support us. So once again, we thank you guys for tapping in with us this evening. But we cannot start the show without introducing the guys. And this gentleman here, this is Adam. And this gentleman right here, this is Mr. Hart, a.k.a. Mr. Sports Almanac. And I'm DP, your host for the evening. We're going to go ahead and get it popping. It's episode 64. Jumping straight into it. Let's talk baseball real quick. DVH and the guys. Go ahead and take care of business one more time. South Carolina conference play. That is the 11th consecutive SEC home win. And we only have 2 losses on our record. That's against what? We play K-State and
we lost to K-State and Ole Miss, and that's it.
yeah, but we have not lost a series.
No.
There you go. There you go. King of Petty. Go and get it.
Huh? I'll get there.
King of yeah, that will be you. New daddy. Oh, okay. Appreciate it. And Hart. Hey, I can dig it. Hey, that man, that lets you know when somebody really tapped in and know what's going on. Question for Matt Hart. Realistically, how far do you see us going in baseball? Hold on, Nicholas. We're gonna get to that question in a second. But y'all know how this go. Keep the script going. Let's pay these bills real quick. Stay locked in.
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for betting on all the madness. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to a $200,000 bracket contest, Bet Online continues to be your #1 sports betting source. From every Cinderella story to every hat trick, Bet Online has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. Bet Online, the game starts here.
Shout out to Bet Online for that advertising. Brought to you by the Believe Network. Check out the Believe Network on X if you haven't checked that out already. Let's go ahead and get Nicholas' question real quick. Boom. There you go. Question for Matt Hart. Realistically, how far do you see us going in baseball? Asked by Nicholas on YouTube. What you got, Matt?
What up, Nick? Appreciate the question and the view. I would say, honestly, this is the best I've felt about this team since we had Cops. And honestly, I feel even better about the team. I feel like this is the best team we've had with Van Horn, the deepest team. We've had great players, pitchers, and batters at different times, but it seems like we have a whole collection of them right now. So if I had to put it in one way, I think we could really win it all. And I think it's legit. We can win it all this year.
Yeah, that's what's up. So the thing that's interesting is we talked about it last week. And, usually when we talk Arkansas baseball, we always talk about how great the pitching is. Maybe not as much depth in the pitching, but we do have great pitching on the regular. But we always talk about the bats. The bats are coming alive early and often. So I'm loving that from the guys being able to put together some streaky innings and go ahead and put together, get a win, and get these sweeps, especially in conference play. I watched Dave Van Horn's presser, and and I could just be overthinking it. It almost feels like he's saying what Matt's saying. Like, it's too good to be true. This team is so good that I don't even want to get too far ahead and jinx it. I want to just let it play itself out. But it seems like he knows in his heart of hearts that this is one of his better teams that he's had. Once again, we've always had pitching, but now we got bats coming. So now at this point, being able to put series together, and as he stated in his presser, being able to get some series sweeps within conference, so that as the season goes on, we know the injury bug is inevitable, and things happen throughout the year. So it's good to go ahead and take care of business on the front end and make things happen, and then find a way to carry that over throughout the season. As I say every single week when it comes to baseball, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So I don't want to get too far into it and just say, hey, we're going to win it all. But I am with you guys' sentiments in regards to how well we look. Gage Wood, don't mind resting him, but Gaggle is more of a stopgap in the starting rotation until his return. Adam, what you got on that?
I think we're all waiting for Gage Wood to get back, but I'm not taking anything against Gackle. He's just been hot and cold too often. And so I don't feel like he's been fully consistent. I'd rather have him coming at the kind of midweek games just to get a starting feel, but I'm fine putting him in as a reliever in some sorts. Overall, though, this series, it's crazy how far, and I know South Carolina's 17-8, but how far they've fallen from where they were years ago.
Facts.
1-5 in the SEC, 17-8 overall. It's not the South Carolina that we're used to, and I love every bit of it. So in baseball, I can call them USC Junior, and it's all right. So one thing I have noticed, because there's been a couple few teams do it. It worked out once for Ole Miss. It didn't work out today for South Carolina. Do not intentionally walk somebody
Right.
to load the bases when you have Iredale coming up to bat.
Right.
Because he hit a grand slam today after that, and that's not some guy I'm going to load the bases for.
Yeah, it just that's almost elementary as if you didn't do your work as a coach to allow it to happen. So I'm not sure what the thought process was, but I'm glad that we took advantage of it. As you stated before, looking at it when it comes to Gage Wood, I look at it like this: he's getting an opportunity to sharpen his iron, and I think he may come to a situation down the road later on in the season where he's going to be needed to be a strong reliever. He's going to be needed to being able to close out some games. And for him to get this experience on the front end, having all the confidence of the coach and the staff and his teammates behind him, I think it's only going to pay dividends in the long run in regards to him extending his worth within the season. So I can dig it in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And stay tuned. We got some news on Gage Wood later. So
yeah. So if I'm assuming that we got some new people on here this evening. Welcome. If you haven't been here before, at the bottom of the screen on the left, it says Hog News. That's when we give you the insider information. So please don't get lost in the sauce. Make sure you check out that Hog News. We got some great things talked about. Ty, I'm gonna get to your other comment later. We'll get to that at some point.
Stuff on that.
I see we got this on the screen. So shout out to Ty. Ty said, had he struck out 3 times earlier in the game. 3 times.
He struck out 3 times earlier.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell your.
Hey, Mama, what's up? What's
there
up?
We go.
Hey, thank you for putting it on there. Shout out to Mama. Shout out to all the mamas. Mother's Day coming up, by the way, fellas. I know a lot of us, we wait till the last minute. We're just gonna throw it when it's fresh on your mind. Mother's Day coming up, tapping in. All right, Transplant Texan with the comment. What is Hart's opinion on the pitching roster? Are we just heavy with relievers this season? Will this hurt the Hogs later in the season if Gacko is not effective as a starter, even at midweek? Great comment.
Well, Van Horn typically seems like he wants to bring pitchers in and start them out in the bullpen and get a feel for them and then slowly move them up into the rotation unless they are just that good, like a Hagen Smith.
Yeah.
But he tried it with Brady Tiger. He had him in the pen, then he had him as a starter, and then he kind of moved him back into the pen some. I feel like we have that right now with a lot of our guys, but it's just a very deep rotation, and you're just trying to make room for everybody. And luckily, we're deep enough that if a couple of guys are not hitting their spots, like today, we had Fouch hit a couple of batters. I want to say he only pitched a third of an inning, if I recall, if that. But the staff is deep, and Van Horn and Matt Hobbs, they come up with the best starter that they can, and they always have a game plan for several different relievers to pitch, different games throughout the series and keep everybody fresh.
Yeah, I think a veteran coach in Van Horn, he understands what that means. That's a great problem to have so many pitchers that you kind of got to find a way for each guy to get their niche. And he also stated in one of his presses previously about guys not being jealous of each other, understanding it's a total team effort. So guys understand, hey, when it is his turn, I'm going to go ahead and support him and celebrate him. And then when it's my turn, I expect to get that in return. So I think it's a great thing. And like I said, great coaches understand how to bring players together and not think about individuals and make it a collective effort, as we've seen with Coach Cal. Adam, you had something?
We're moving. It's for when we move into March Madness.
Gotcha. Look, anything else in regards to baseball before we move forward with March Madness?
We got Missouri State Tuesday, Vanderbilt the weekend after, or next weekend, but same shit, different day.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And this is the best start Arkansas baseball has ever had, 23-2. So enjoy it while we have it. Some people want to get rid of Van Horn at times when we don't do as well, or because we didn't win a championship when we dropped the foul ball. But
why are you bringing that up?
Hey, because look, see,
somebody's always going to beat them to it.
It's Adam. It's Adam's trauma.
Thing.
It triggers him every time. He's just like, why you got to bring that up? Yeah.
But Van Horn has made this baseball team what we want every other sport to be, and Cal's done it in basketball. But he's got the top classes coming in, the top batters, top hitter or pitchers, and he just got it rolling. We just got to stick with them, and things are going to come out the way we want.
That's what's up. Look, y'all know it's that part of the show what we do. We're going to transition into basketball and March Madness. But before we do that, we got an ad from our sponsor. Once again, stay locked in.
Let's take a quick time out and talk about something just as important as Arkansas basketball. Your home. Our friends over at Premium Supply are like the MVPs of home improvement. They've got everything you need to make your house a slam dunk. We're talking siding, soffit, columns, windows, doors, vents, decking, the whole playbook. Whether you're building from the ground up or just doing a little home court maintenance, they've got you covered. And with locations in Conway, North Little Rock, Russellville, and Jonesboro, there's always a Premium Supply close enough for a fast break. So if you're looking for premium products with premium customer service, make your next shot count and visit www.premiumsupplyllc.com. Use promo code HOGHQ for a 5% discount on your next purchase. Premium Supply, where we treat each of our customers like one of the family.
That's you.
Oh, my bad. Don't forget. Yeah. Like the commercial says, 5% off your orders at premiumsupplyllc.com or go to the Facebook page. Again, 5% off your total order. Siding, roofing, deck, columns, anything you need for the bones of your house. So give it to LC. It's that time of year. Call Premium Supply. I trust you. I tell you, they are people you can trust and give you great customer service.
That's what's up. Appreciate that. And once again, we appreciate Premium Supply for being a sponsor for this show. Definitely appreciate it. Let me get this comment. Is this the comment we need to? Yeah, it is. It is. I'm gonna get the comments, then we'll jump straight into the topic at hand. Transplant, and thank you for that, sir. Transplant Texan with the comment on YouTube. March Madness, West Bracket, Sweet 16 is final. Hog versus Texas Tech, Florida versus Maryland, dude. So that Maryland, the Maryland Colorado State, that was a hell of a game. Now I tend to be biased. I feel like the Arkansas wins were some of the best games that I actually got a chance to watch. I mean, for us to be on ESPN on repeat, SEC Network on repeat, yeah, somebody else started too. I think we busted a lot of brackets in regards to us winning back-to-back weeks. So back-to-back games. So I definitely think it was different. Adam, you want to tap into this bracket and what's currently popping?
Well, currently Ole Miss is up on Iowa State 40-29 at halftime. Let's see. New Mexico's up 24-14 on Michigan State. So there's some upset watches there. Today you had Maryland beat Colorado State 72-71. Alabama beat St. Mary's 80-66. Kentucky over Illinois. Duke over Baylor. Florida came back and beat UConn. That Florida game was something else.
Oh, yeah, it was fine. It was a good game.
That's the game. I mean, because I'm still sticking with Florida winning it all. Obviously, I say that with if Arkansas wants to win it all, by all means,
right?
I'm okay with being wrong. But Florida looked like that team. Like this was their trouble game. Their game, and they got some hot water. They won. They survived, and I would worry if I was the team they're playing next, just because I feel like Florida's going to be like, okay, we screwed around. I was a little too close for comfort, and now they're going to go back to playing how they played the majority of the season. The other games, I mean, there's been good games, but there's been games that like they were good for a half,
correct,
and then just kind of went one-sided. Obviously, we'll get into the Arkansas St. John's game here in a minute.
Hey, let me tell you about a game that was good for the first 50 seconds. Off target. The Arkansas State women's versus UConn. Shit. Dog. I watched the game and I was like, damn, I remember the Arkansas State won, was it the Sun Belt? Is that what they did? Yeah, so shout out to the program for doing what they're doing. I think this is that coach's third season. So to take that team, and just think about it, they had a player that was on Arkansas's roster on the team last year. And once again, their motto was shoot from three. And when I tell you, I seen that freshman from UConn block the three, get the steal, get the easy layup, turn around, get another steal. I'm like, yeah, they were just out womaned. They were Yeah, out talented. It was a whole lot going on. Give me the next one. Yep. So Nicholas, he asked me, DP, how did you like the version of Trevor Brazile against St. John? Nicholas, you come in with these questions, man, that we want to answer, no doubt. He came out super aggressive on the boards and smartly died that aggression down once he hit foul trouble. Look, thank you for that question, Nicholas. Look, at the end of the day, that's a part. That's a piece of the Trevor Brazile that we want to see when we firstly seen him. When he came down court with the steals and the windmill dunks, the block shots, being aggressive on the glass, things of that nature. We definitely appreciate that and hope that we will see him. Coach Kyle has done a phenomenal job. Him and his staff has done a phenomenal job in bringing these guys together because individual talent, we can look at what we heard about these guys, like even Nelly. We heard about how great he was at his previous institution. And then at some point, we felt like we got robbed during the season. He made some big shots in that other game to make that big three on the perimeter. So it was things like that where I thought DeJuan Wagner was washed. DJ Wagner. I thought DJ Wagner was washed. And when I tell you he took over that last game, man, and just really put the team on his shoulders. It was dope to see. Boogie Flan came along. Like I said, he's going to mess up the chemistry. The dude played more than the minutes that Kyle said he was going to play. And when I tell you he made some effective plays, especially in the St. John's games defensively. So it was great to just see all these guys come alive and be able to do what they do. I was wondering, you asked me about Trevor Brazile, and just to be able to see him be able to be flexible. I definitely want to see him put the ball on the floor as opposed to just holding it. I think I keep looking at Jay Will from Fort Smith and hoping that he will turn to him, but he's not. He's Trevor Brazile. So you have to take credit for that because it's Fort Smith. But anyway, but to be able to see him have that energy, man, have that aggressiveness, be gritty on the boards, and be just a spark plug for the team, it was definitely dope to see. Shout out to the guards for their relentless defense on RJ Lewis. They put his ass on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, that's their top scorer. For you to shut him down, shout out to what's my guy talk about every single week? Billy. Don't stop, Billy. Don't stop till you get enough. That's what Michael Jackson said. That part. But yeah, Billy Richmond, man. Billy Richmond definitely did his thing defensively, being able to be gritty, diving for the ball, being very aggressive defensively. As I stated in previous shows, he reminds me of tournament Devo Davis. Davis. That's a different guy than regular season Devo Davis. But as far as his ability to be to make his defense make it his offense, I definitely was appeased with that. Adam, what you got? You about to say something?
I mean, I was just going to wait until we get into the rest of the.
Well, let's get into it then.
Game talk. Unless, I mean, if we're done with March Madness, it's cool.
It's nothing else that I really saw. Shout out to BYU. I like BYU.
And BYU. You got Arkansas, Kentucky, and BYU in the Sweet 16.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people talked about Kentucky and BBL Nation, as we like to call them. Nobody's talking about you right now. Nobody cares that you're even still playing. Like, you got to watch us from afar and be envious of what Coach Kyle is doing at his new place at Arkansas. BYU, it's interesting because I like Wisconsin. I've seen them play in a championship game versus Michigan State. Gritty team. I had them going further. But BYU in basketball and football is a team that you just don't bet against. And when you go to a school like that has certain look, you can't smoke, you can't drink, and you can't have sex. Look, you got nothing else to do but be locked in and what you're here for. So, and they got the number one recruit coming in next year. So it's something to that. I like the way they play. The BYU is a team that I looked at that no matter what the other team is doing, they're still going to play their style of ball. So it's going to be interesting to see them play against Alabama. And I know how Alabama plays with their gritty guard play.
Did you see that Wisconsin was going to try to protest the end of the game?
The dude, he pulled a Devo.
He pulled a Devo. When I saw that, I'm like, he did the same thing that Devo did. And Wisconsin trying to say it should have been a technical. Sir, the game was over.
Yeah, the time had expired at that point.
You could kick the ball up into the stands if you wanted to.
Yeah, when Devo did, it was still a little time left. So, yeah, I get it, but I don't. Don't be a sore loser. You lost, you lost. It never came down
like
to
Dan Hurley.
That part.
Mhm.
That part. Oh yeah. I don't get like we got. Yeah, I remember I seen that comment. Do.
Also, with the Sweet 16, there's going to be 6 or 7 SEC schools for all those that said the SEC wasn't as good as we all think they are.
Mhm.
So almost half of the Sweet 16 will be the SEC, and there's one ACC school left.
They don't. They hate. I mean, people look at the SEC as a football conference. It's what's the motto goes?
It just means more or something.
Yeah, that part. It definitely means more when you can be good in baseball, basketball, and football as institutions. So definitely shout out to them for them. Steve Cover, did it surprise you guys that St. John's didn't play some zone yesterday? Adam, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, they talked about it during the game. The announcers did, and I was they expected St. John's maybe to start out with it, but at the same time, it was like I feel like, especially starting in the SEC schools were doing it to us during the regular season, then especially in the SEC tournament. But I figured we would see it more because NCAA tournament, you get teams throwing all kinds of things at you to throw you off your game.
Correct.
So this was the time to do it, especially when neither one of the teams could hit a 3 to save their life.
Man, when we get into our game, can you put up those numbers for me? Because that was atrocious. I do want to get this comment. That's my sister. Shout out to my sister. What's up, Nikki? All right, boom. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna get into this Sweet 16 thing with Arkansas. But before we do that, we got a couple little clips we want to show you real quick.
Let's start off with which one? Let's go
that
with
one.
this one.
That one.
Almost.
Now,
Yeah.
I met with the team. There is no team.
What if I told you we were putting a team together?
Donnell Davis, the transfer from Florida Atlantic. Great feed to Carter Knox. Dickinson's follow not there, and Wagner races ahead. And this Arkansas team flies up the floor. Wagner and one. Dickinson, bad pass. Flam takes it the other way. Boogie lays it in. Wagner to the corner, and Knox misses the 3. The rebound to Brazil. They did in the first half. They got Idu there. And another one in the paint, and the foul. And the lob to Brazil. From 0-5 in the SEC to the Sweet 16. Arkansas. At practice yesterday, we have to get off to a better start. Don't want to dig out of this hole against a team like Arkansas. As Richmond misses, Scott takes it away. Ejiofor trying to clean it up. He's rejected. Knox got the block. And now we have a call and a tie-up.
That set the tone for the rest of the game, I felt like.
Double block by Knox.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, Knox doing it was amazing. I think the first game it was a dude. It was a dude who came out of nowhere and just took over the game. He was just aggressive on the glass. He was getting points in the paint. He was making it happen, setting screens, etc. Wagner was doing his thing, coming off top screens. It was nice. It was nice to see Arkansas do what we know Arkansas can do. It's just a part of us putting it all together in one particular game. I know, Adam, we always talk about that 5 to 8 minute point where it's always like, we're going to slide. We're just going to not score for a good minute in the second half. But they put it together. Now, these numbers, this is from the St. John's game. Adam, what number stood out the most?
So, I mean, obviously, well, hang on just a second.
Oh, shit.
First off,
Petty as fuck.
44 fucking fouls, excuse my language, stood out more than anything.
Yeah.
The refs were just trying to make this about them. Like, I get it. You set the tone early with maybe calling or over calling fouls, if you will, to try to get the two teams, if they're chippy, if they're feisty, to kind of like set the tone to, hey, back off. But you really didn't. All you really did was you pissed off coaches and you pissed off players even more. I can't say that it was called for one team more than the other, but it was atrocious for both sides of it. It was absolutely terrible. One big thing for me, just individual wise, was not only I'm just pulling up because that's kind of hard for me to read.
Yeah.
Carter Knox.
Uh-huh.
15 points, 6 rebounds. The biggest thing to me, 4 blocks. And we saw 2 of them there. Yeah. But this is a guy that he's kind of disappeared at times. Had to kind of find himself, if you will. Cal said it in the post game about adversity, that Carter came into this and thought that this was going to be easy, that he was just going to be able to come right in and just do what he'd been doing in high school, and realized that he couldn't. So he had to go to the gym more. Like, seeing these freshmen do what they're doing and battle through what they've battled through this season is amazing. I think it helps, as much as we've kind of hated on Nelly at times, or maybe not necessarily hated on him, but expected more from him. I think that his leadership of being here before and getting to the Final Four can help these younger guys just get in the right mindset. And even DJ Wagner, he's a sophomore, but he's still young in that respect. Props to Boogie Flan for coming back, and 10 to 15 minutes was the plan. Obviously, when you come in and you're making an impact on the game, you're not going to go put that on the bench.
Correct.
He's not taking ill-advised shots. He's allowing the other guards to run the offense. He's taking the back seat in that respect of not garnering all the attention, and he's making the most of when he is on the court. He may not have all the stats in the world there. I mean, 6 points, 2 assists, 1 steal. But if you watch the whole game, he's getting into passing lanes. Right. He's disrupting passes. He's diving after loose balls. He's attacking the rim. And this is one thing, too. Shout out to DJ Wagner, because I know we've talked about Boogie in the past for how quick he is. DJ Wagner is one of the quickest guards with the ball in his hands in the country. Yeah. And if he gets you he's going with his right hand and he goes to finish with his left at the rim, you're not going to stop it.
Right.
He has made that his bread and butter. He's showing that. DJ Wagner's name gets himself in the door with any NBA team, but he's proving why he's going to play in the league in the future. I just hope, for my selfishness, he comes back next season and just builds on what they're doing right now.
Gotcha. Very selfless in his play, Boogie Flan, in regards to how he was moving. The 3-point percentage on here was damn atrocious as well. It was 2 for 19? Is that what the number state?
Yeah. They were 2 for 21. We were 2 for 19. Yeah. It was 4 for 41 total.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just like you just couldn't make a shot, but it was good for because the game was very physical. It was great when it came to rebounding from both teams. So that was great to see. Justin, shout out to Justin. Arkansas out here knocking them out. Sweet 16, baby. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Transplant Texan, the officiating in the tournament was only solidified the reason why the NCAA needs to centralize officiating, education, scheduling, advancement, and compensation. Bite the bullet. Too much money. Too much money involved. St. John's post-game locker room interview. Both Richmond and Knox admitted that they were nervous in round 1 in game. Everyone settled in now. Well, don't know about Big Z. Big Z got to have coming out party. He got to get going from the perimeter as well as in the paint. Listen, damn weight protein drinks before he played the next game. Ty Nelly was a leader in the tournament games. He took charge and was coaching young players. Yeah, this is what we paid for. We thought we would see a regular season. We were going 0-5 because we heard about how great he was last year, especially with this tournament experience. And we knew the money that was paid to him in order to come to the team. We thought that he would take over early and be one of those guys that we could lean on, but he was not. And a lot of people disappointed in his play, saying that he didn't show up, saying that we got robbed, etc. But like I say, when it counts, he is making it happen. Now, we were all in the group chat the other day saying, why the hell he keep taking these damn threes? And when we needed the biggest 3, he made it happen. So I couldn't be mad at him in that regard. Shooters gonna shoot, as they say. So I couldn't be mad about it and how he went about his business. Let's get some of these comments real quick. You got something to say about this, Matt?
Yeah.
You can tell them when they're gonna catch it.
All right. So what I was thinking, as far as the game and everything, let me back up a little bit. The most impressive thing for this season for me was every time we've had somebody go down, we've had somebody step up. When we
Right.
had Boogie go down, we had DJ step up. When we had Thero go down, well, actually, Thero stepped up in the point scoring part after that. And then when he goes down, we have Knox and Brazil start stepping up. And then when Z kind of goes down, we have Adu start showing up with his 20-point games. So it's been really refreshing to see that and knowing that somebody has somebody different every game is stepping up and providing much needed support. As far as the games go, the first thing that sticks out in my mind was when I started texting y'all about them damn refs. I wasn't trying to be a homer, but man, I was getting annoyed. But it was great to see Carter Knox stepping up and playing, like you said, not like a freshman, showing his experience and getting it from the first game in Kansas and everything. The Kansas game, it was good to see Hunter Dixon not get a double-double and how we wanted him and, have beat them twice, albeit he didn't play in the exhibition game. But it's nice beating Kansas twice in the last two tournaments. 4 out of 5 years we made the Sweet 16. And the last thing I want to say is the free throw shooting. Early in the year, I thought it was going to be a problem for us. Luckily, it hasn't bit us yet. But I really commend the staff for inbounding the ball to the right people, being Knox and Nelly, and them getting those free throws, ensuring we get those points to seal the game. So great defense effort, and I think we can definitely handle Texas Tech.
Now I'm gonna piggyback off your comment and jump straight into Nicholas' comment. You talk about inbounding the ball to the right people. Boogie Flan, for you to have cement feet and stand in one spot, and we had to call 2 freaking timeouts for you to get the damn ball in bounds. It was like, okay, sir, you can run the baseline in order to get that ball in, right? You do know that.
I just took that as rust and the moment and everything was just
the moment
there's a lot
big,
going on.
Yep.
Yeah, that was interesting. Now, one thing I did know in regards to that part, didn't a dude step out of bounds to get the ball or something?
So after a made basket, you're allowed to run the baseline, but you can also basically pass to somebody out of bounds that can then pass it. There's only certain situations in the game you're allowed to do that.
Gotcha. That's right. Because your jersey and the Raptors in Fort Smith. So I knew that you would know that. That's why I threw it out there. You dig what I'm saying? Let me get that part. Hold on. Big Z needs to not be guarded. Yeah, that's not a threat. Big Z, I feel like with all these guys evolving in their role, and I think that was the biggest part we seen from going from 0-5 and making a run late in SEC play, was players understanding their role. Big Z, yeah, if it's not a 3-point threat, yeah, if you just stand in between the perimeter with your guy who's not going to shoot a 3, who's not a 3-point big, and then just be able to block lanes and deny the ball from going inside, I think you're doing your job in that regard. I'm sure Coach, if not, Coach will cuss you out from the sideline and let you know. So, yeah. Adam, what you got on this comment right here?
It was one of those things that with the refs and whatnot, I wasn't shocked that the St. John player got fouled out. The bigger shock to me came before that when they had initially called a foul on Edge 4, and which would have given him his 4th. And then they gave it to another St. John's player after meeting, conferring, whatever. And I think that was around the 7-8 minute mark, maybe a little bit less, but that to me would have changed St. John's kind of game plan. Because I'm sorry, your best player gets 4 fouls, you're probably going to go sit him for at least a few minutes and just try to keep it close or whatever. But, taking away that foul, leaving it 3, it just kind of changed things for them. But it's one of those things that Arkansas, I feel like it would have hurt. You left Big Z in, which I totally get, to get his 5th foul. He was expendable at that point in time.
Yeah.
Shout out, because this happened in the Kansas game too. The players that got into foul trouble early, for especially against Kansas, then again in this game, shout out to them for making halftime adjustments because there were several of them going into halftime with 2 fouls.
Yep. I think we had 3 players with 2 fouls.
And then early in the second half, 3 fouls, 4 fouls. So it especially was I noticed it big time in the Kansas game because I think we had like 3 guys going into halftime with 2 fouls. And then 2 of those guys didn't get a foul for the rest of the game.
Right.
So it's learning to play smarter, especially when you've got refs calling ticky-tack things and whatnot. It was one of those that we're getting touch fouls in some respects, but then you had players like against Kansas, boogie driving, getting hip checked, nothing called. Then you had, so it's they've got to level that out somehow.
Yeah. So at one point, Hart was in the group chat and was texting, man, the refs. And I was like, man, stop crying. Don't start making an excuse for Arkansas if we lose and be like, man, the refs. And I was like, no, fuck that. Then at some point I was like, no, wait a damn minute now. Because I think when we was watching it, I was ahead of you guys when I was watching it. And all of a sudden somebody replied like, finally. I'm looking like, oh, y'all must just got it. That's when I recognized I was ahead. But I say this, I'm like, yeah, it was some BS calls made in regards to the fouls. The guys were playing aggressive. They let them play. The numbers of fouls for each team almost balanced out. The problem was when Arkansas was so ahead and about to take off, they leveled the playing field by calling the fouls on us, and it slowed down the game, slowed down our momentum. And I think that was the part that was so unfair. So it was like they pick and choose when they actually wanted to make the call. So yeah, it was some BS. The officiating was trash in that regard. So I can definitely dig that. David Pearson with a comment here. What? Let me get David's comment.
The same one.
Gotcha. Boogie shows great maturity. Players of his stature that have been out usually come back in the tournament and force their offense to get their numbers. He's willing to do all the dirty things and help just take what's there on offense. No doubt about it, David. That was a great comment right there. He wanted to flow like water, as Bruce Lee would say. He just didn't try to force anything to happen. He was definitely part of the process and did what Coach asked him to do. Dan Hurley would have lost. Should have taken the Laker job. Yeah.
Well,
who knows?
Things. That was JJ Redick's to begin with.
Facts. Look at it. Yeah, go and hit it. Well, look who it is. Look who it is who we haven't seen in a long time. Mr. Jay Johnson. Jay, thank you for jumping in, guy. No knock on everyone else, but this team is as hard out with Adu and Brazil on the floor. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys playing inspired ball, man. It's looking like these guys are understanding once we play for each other, we play better as opposed to playing for our individual stats and accolades, as well as an opportunity to get to the league. If you're not a lottery pick, most times you're going to be a glue guy. You're going to be a team guy. So that means you can just do your part, play your role at a high level. That's what gets you years and new contracts. Veterans won round 1. The freshmen won round 2. Definitely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when you got your hat on. That's when you had your hat on. Justin, hold on.
We saw that one.
We did.
Yeah, we backed up some of the comments.
Gotcha. Because y'all loading us up with the comments, which we're here for. Ty Thero looked pretty good jumping around on the bench.
Yeah, he looked decent carrying Billy Richmond off the court too. A few games back. Shit happens.
Wonder if Adam's got any news on that.
Possibly. I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of hearing Charles Barkley talk about consistency versus inconsistency before each game. I'm tired of these announcers, which I know as we get into like Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, the announced teams will shrink. I'm tired of these guys. You know, we saw it especially in the first game, and then a little bit more this last game. But like they have their bullet points, their talking points,
right?
And that's all they know about either team most of the time.
Correct. It's not NBA.
But call in. Let's see. We heard it in that clip when we started this. You called Jonas Adu. You called Kevin or Carter Knox Kevin Knox, which that's his brother that played for Coach Cal.
Right.
There's just multiple things like you don't know guys' names, and I get it. There's a lot of guys' names for you to know and learn. But if I have to hear one more fucking time, excuse my language, about Billy Richmond not being a 3-point shooter, I get it. We know. We've watched them all year.
Yep.
But guess what? You talking about, oh, he's only made 2 threes all year. Guess what? They were like 2 games ago in the SEC tournament. So a lot of times as a shooter, as a player, you can't live in the past. So if you're hot in the moment or you've got short memory. I've hit a couple threes. I'm going to shoot some more. Do I think he needs to be shooting them? No. Honestly, Billy's little 15-foot mid-range with the left hand, he needs to stick to that and drive into the basket. But at the same time, get off it.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Gotcha. But no, I think Billy found his niche in regards to how he can contribute to the team and be effective. Like I said, if it's not from the perimeter, he definitely can sauce you up on the outside and then take you to the rack and then get to the free throw line. So I definitely appreciate that. Not calling Boogie out. The team has struggled the entire season on inbounding from the inline when pressured. You know, it just seemed like it was such a big stage. It was a glaring situation to where.
And there's a lot of times too, like one of the big rules with, when you are inbounding the ball is too much can happen just trying to throw it up to somebody. So, I've heard, because I saw some comments like, oh, just throw it up to Brazil. A lot can happen if you're just going to toss it up to a guy that's 6'10" with, it's like you're trying to get the ball into somebody's chest. And when the guards and whoever else aren't getting free, that's where we have problems. So,
all right, I'm going to take your comment and flip it. When Taylor Green was just throwing the ball over there, you motherfuckers was pissed, saying he can't throw, he trash, he inaccurate, he missing the hands. Now you just saying throw the ball up because the dude tall. Hey, man, at the end of the day, at your chest area where your numbers are when it says Arkansas, that is the best place for you to get possession of that ball. I understand because someone is taller, you think, but you got to think about the opponent that's on them. They're battling. They're going to jump at their highest height and try to high point the ball and knock it away. Once you get a turnover, at this point, you probably letting your TV saying, man, that was so stupid. Why did he do that? So these guys are trained to do what they do. We got to let them do what they do. And so far, they've been doing a great job. Ty, I'm assuming the last comment, you mean Boogie. He had 5 days to work on the shot. Then you said the flagrant one on TV was BS.
It was.
Most definitely. Derek, how about the softball ladybacks against the wall early in SEC play and go take series at number 7 Tennessee?
They needed it.
You
drop your first two series. I think you're 1-5. Like you needed this big time to turn things around.
Yeah. Hopefully they can get some momentum going. Agree with Adam about the announcement. Yeah.
Hey, who would you rather have though? Like what we had last game before, or would you rather have Ron Slay on the SEC network? Talking about headbands and his time when he was Carmelo Anthony's teammate back in high school.
Yeah. Who knows? I think the closer we get, the more games get exciting. We get better announcers. At this point, people trying to get themselves in position to get them a job permanently after the season. So I get it. David, there are times that they stand under the basket to inbound. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you need to throw the ball up a little bit, you're going to hit the backboard because we've seen it happen before.
Right.
So I don't like, I guess I think of it as you need to have usually a big. So I'm not going to put Z in this role because he thinks he can handle the ball, but he can't. He's got issues. There's a long ways from 7'2" for that ball to hit the ground. So, if you got guards that are running, they can't get open. I think that you should have one of your big or a big like Trevin Brazil who can handle the ball to an extent. Have them around half court that can break, or even if you want to do halfway between half court and the 3-point line, and have them, if it's been 2 seconds or a second, whatever, have them break towards the ball.
Right.
Just to have somebody else coming in because that defensive player is going to back off of him running forward, or they're going to get called for a foul for impeding his ability to run.
Right.
So there's a multitude of things that could happen there, but they've got to get better, and it shouldn't take 1 or even 2 timeouts like we saw to be able to draw up an inbounds play.
Yeah. Remember that game when somebody challenged you about Big Z didn't shoot threes and then you made a whole damn Yeah, well, Ron Slay, knock him down.
Do I need to do a Ron Slay one with all the threes?
Right.
Or
Brian,
flip side, all the bullshit calls or anytime a player falls to the ground, just knock them down.
Yeah. I hope Cal at least goes over how to run the high-low offense against the zone because our guys look lost when it happens the first game. Yeah, surprise Virginia didn't try it. I think it was so much ego and pride in that game between the coaches. I don't even think he was really locked in. He expected his players to really just take over the game. They felt like they were a more superior team. But Arkansas and Cal just decided, hey, we're going to play together. And as Theo said, Deuce said in SEC play, we just didn't want to go home. I just didn't want it to be over. So I felt like that was part of their conversation with each other. They just didn't want to go home. So shout out to the guys for making it do what it do and further exceeding expectations, busting brackets. And Coach Cal is really getting some bonus money right now. I looked at his contract the other day. I'm just like, okay, gotcha.
Would y'all rather see a video of the players talking about adversity or Jay Billis eating crow because he always doubts Arkansas?
Let's get on Jay Billis' ugly laugh. Let's do that.
Arkansas. Are you kidding me? That was unbelievable. I mean, think about what John Calipari's done and gone through this year. He goes 0-5 in SEC play to start the conference season. Loses Boogie Fland, his All-America caliber freshman, to a hand injury month and a half, 2 months ago. Then about 3 weeks ago or so, loses Adu Theo, his leading scorer. And they not only won at Rupp Arena in his first trip back after leaving Kentucky as its head coach, but they go into the NCAA tournament in a way limping in, but they played really well over the last 10 games or so without Adu Theo. They've been attacking the basket. They've been getting out in transition. They've been living at the free throw line. And they give up, 28 offensive rebounds? They hit only 2 threes out of 19. And they beat Rick Pitino and St. John's, the number 2 seed in Providence. Unbelievable. When John Calipari was the head coach at UMass, their mantra was refuse to lose. It's refuse to lose again, and they're not losing. That was unreal. Absolutely unreal. Congrats to Arkansas. Woo pig suey.
Look, for Coach
Cal,
like that. Yeah, it sounded real lame when he said it. You could tell he not one of us. They not like us. That's what should have played after that. But look, what I recognize is the fact that he beat Bill Self and Pitino. That's legendary shit. And I think he got the most tournament wins right now with this last win over Louisville.
Like that.
Yeah. So why?
And then he adds the head-to-head record. I think he's now like 14-10 against Pitino.
Yep, and 3-2 in the tournament.
Tell me why my brother is trying to watch. He like, dude, I'm watching, but I can't comment. Do I need to get on the app? You old, dude. You're not tech savvy, brother.
I feel like we had some of these similar issues the last time around.
Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. I do want to get these comments before we get into the Hog News. Y'all stay tuned for this Hog News. Y'all gonna want to hear what we got to say on this one. Hogs, 0-5 Warriors in the Sweet 16, baby. So that's a great comment in regards to just be patient. Just be patient with the process. Allow it to play itself out. Allow these guys to grow, get chemistry. Allow the injury bug to happen because it's going to happen, which is why I can't get too high on baseball, but I am excited on the inside. So I get it. But like a lot of times, we just want us to go undefeated every single year in every single sport. It's not going to happen. Just be patient and allow these coaches to do what they get paid to do. Pittman, I hope you're listening. Late going on. Did we talk about the new women's basketball coach? Man, you are right on time. That's what I'm talking about. Don't know much about her. We're going to cover that in the...
Hey, we have a new slogan catchphrase with her.
Oh, Lord.
And, yeah.
You going to tap
Cue
into
the music.
What?
Her last name is Music.
Yeah, what was it?
Cue the music. That's what they put on the Twitter today on... Yeah, I had that look right there.
Hey, Jude.
So we went from Turn that damn jukebox on to cue the music.
And cow those hogs, and let's stop with catchphrases, and yeah, it's over. It's overdone.
Shit, lame as hell. All right, Brian. The only value BZ has right now is his 5 fouls. Cal showed it when he left him in with 4 fouls. And I was like, I don't care if he fouls out.
Facts. Because you're going to take him out and put in, you're either going to go small or put in one of your bigs that's
Correct.
already in foul trouble. Let his ass get fouled out.
Yep.
He had one, I'll say 2 play, a big rebound, and then that little 12-foot turnaround hook. It's the only thing positive he did in that game.
Smitty Rowe. Shout out to Smitty Rowe. Sky's the limit on the comment. Nicholas, I'm going to get your comment. Then we're going to tap into this hog news. Once again, y'all stay tuned for this hog news. Last comment by Nicholas. I don't want to jump the gun, but this could happen before the next show. What will making a Final Four run this year mean for Calipari and our program? Let's do a round robin on that. That's a great question. Nicholas, boy, you ain't playing. You ain't playing tonight. Mr. Hart, you want to go ahead and tap into that? Let me know how you feel about it.
Going to a Final Four? Well, it would mean practically, other than the championship, it would mean everything. It would put us back on the map other than just going to Sweet 16. It would eliminate any negative talk on Cal and his abilities if he's lost it or got stagnant, and it would really rejuvenate the fan base. Albeit, what would it make us like next year going into the season? And if we lose a game, fire Cal, all that crap.
Yeah.
But I think it's honestly the best thing that could happen, and we have a realistic shot of getting there. We played Florida tough earlier, so I mean, we can do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at some more film on Texas Tech. Texas Tech always has athletic a stretch 4. They can handle the ball, they can be gritty, big body in the paint, get rebounds, putbacks, etc. So that's another situation where stick man number 2 is gonna have to get his shit in order and get some blocks. Dude, if you lift your hands, Big Z, you dunking. Just block the damn ball. Shit. How hard is that? Gotcha. The women's basketball team needs to go back to the Ladybacks and get a wealthy beneficiary. Benefactor. So the biggest issue is the lack of money.
Hey, I know we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But you know what's interesting? Even with the lack of money, I'm not downgrading what you said. When Ned Flanders was the coach, dude had All-Americans on the squad. He just couldn't put it together. He couldn't put it together. And like I said, without having the funds, he still was able to get in quality players. The young lady that came from Arkansas State, she balled. So it's just like find the right person that can put these people together, get the right matchups, the right chemistry, the right pairing on the floor, and then make it happen. I'm gonna get hold on. Ojinga said, hey, she beat the Hogs by 20 this year.
Yeah.
Is that hard to do with Ned Flanders at the helm? Yeah.
Hey, speaking of just other schools and whatnot, and I thought about this earlier when you brought up the UConn women's game. Arkansas State men lost to North Texas in the NIT, and Joseph Pinion had 1 point.
Was Malik Hornsby playing basketball too?
He was. No, I'm not going to go there.
Okay, because he played for both schools, didn't he? No, it was Texas State and Arkansas State. So
and Arkansas.
Yeah. Either way,
he was the one everybody wanted to be a quarterback.
Correct.
And then when he got his chance,
no, they wanted him to be a receiver.
Well, no, Arkansas wanted to be a receiver, but everybody wanted him to be the starting quarterback,
right?
Because they wanted KJ Jefferson out. And then when he got his chance to be starting quarterback, he proved why he wasn't a quarterback. So then Arkansas said, hey, we need you to be wide receiver. And he said, no, I'm a quarterback. So then he went to North Texas. And they're not North Texas State.
Texas State.
And then they said, hey, you're going to be our starting quarterback. And then before the season started, he was third string.
Yeah.
And then he goes as a receiver to Arkansas State. So we'll see him in the UFL probably, maybe.
There you go. He may be playing against KJ, but I digress. Look, we're going to go ahead and tap in. It's getting late, but we got some of the most important news to get into right now. Let's go ahead and get tuned in for this hog news.
Oh, I got to find the video first. See, I wasn't prepared.
This motherfucker.
But first, we got to
Okay.
show you some hog news that we brought you 2 weeks ago.
This is just, a little lead up. This is a couple weeks ago. It's stuff that was talked about previously that has come to fruition, and some of it is still coming to fruition.
Gotcha.
Trust Hog HQ.
Hey, it's time for some hog news.
Cool. Just a few things, and some of this has been floating around. So this started with Cal's live with Coach Cal Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whenever it was earlier in the week. Boogie himself is trying to come back for the NCAA tournament. What's that? Because I've seen a lot of comments, and it's been kind of the team's chemistry, and I get that. But from the actual aspect of if Boogie were to come back, he's not going to come back in a starting role. He's not going to come back.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's start off with basketball since that's where we're already at. What I was told this weekend was, let's see, Kareem, I'm going to call it Artail, R-T-A-I-L.
The Lebanese player?
Yes. He is, what I'm told, the backup plan to Nate Ament. So if we don't land Nate, then we should be able to hopefully land Kareem Retail. We got Boogie. Pretty much talked about that. It's not just lip service. He really is busting his butt trying to get back for the NCAA tournament. So, that's what I heard on my end.
So we can stop the whole sounds Nick Smithish foolishness. We can stop that.
No, we can't.
Okay.
My next topic is the zero. Now, I'll admit I don't know every detail in this situation because I've pretty much heard what everybody else has heard. I've heard, hyperextended knee. I've heard his back, and then I've heard the meniscus. Talking to my source, I'm trying to read between the lines on some of the stuff because he's not totally sold on any of it really. But what we think may be the deal is that he may have actually torn his meniscus, and they're trying to keep it under wraps for if he does try to explore the NBA route, as Adam just alluded to. And if he did tear his meniscus and he had a procedure done, he's probably 2 weeks in, and usually the recovery time would be about roughly 4 weeks on something like that. So who knows? There could be a return for him as well. That put him right around the NCAA tournament time, just like Boogie.
Okay, let's go.
And we are back. That was a great lead up. Matter of fact, the greatest part about that not only was how you broke it down, it was the comments at the bottom of the screen on that show that was speaking to the topic while we was on it. So that was definitely dope. But yeah, it's time for the Hog News, where you give all the inside information. Once again, you gotta trust Hog HQ. We got what you need, even though you don't know you need it. Go ahead, let's pop it off.
All right. So let's see, where do we want to lead off? Got a few things. So it's already kind of floating around, but if there are no setbacks this week before Thursday, Adu Thiro is looking to play this Thursday. I know he wanted to play in this last game. They practiced him on Friday. Was a no-go, but no setbacks between now and Thursday. You will see Thiro in the lineup. To what capacity, who knows? But I'd expect him back just from the sounds of the team, Cal, everything. That it's a lot more promising than it was Friday going into Saturday of this week. Also, you've got the transfer portal opening up tomorrow. So that's something that Cal touched on. He maybe played it off like he didn't know when it started. But yeah, it starts tomorrow, 30-day window. He basically, kind of touched on it. I'll have to look at there's already some names that are being thrown around. But he also, made it kind of clear too. And I feel like Cal's more of one to stand firm on this, where we've seen other Arkansas coaches back off of this. If you want to put your name in the portal, you're done. I think Cal, more than the other coaches, know, like, hey, if you want to go. Like, we'll help you go, but you're not coming back. I'm going to replace you. So I trust him to do that more than anybody. But I don't feel like there's anybody that we're going to see outside of possibility of the walk-on practice players that we would see leaving. Some names that have been thrown out there are, one of them played today, which is Big Z's brother, Tomislav Visic. That's been thrown around for a few weeks now. So they lost today. Illinois did. This is a guy that is truly a big. He's not a stretch four like Big Z is. He's got some weight on him. When I say that, he has what ideally Big Z, that extra 20, 30 pounds. There's another forward out of Iowa, Owen Freeman. He's a 6'10", 245-pound forward, sophomore. And then PJ Haggerty's another one, Memphis guard, 6'3", 191. The only reason I'm unsure on the guards is, like we've alluded to also before, you're losing John L. Davis, you're losing Jonas Adu, you're losing, from what we've been told, Boogie Flant. Now, what happens between now, the end of the season, draft combine, who knows? But having DJ Wagner returning, having Carter Knox, having Billy Richmond, having Darius Acuff Jr. coming in, the guys you've got coming in, it's hard for me to see that we're going to go guard heavy, but Cal is going to go after 11, 12 players that will play. They're not just going to be practice players. It's not rolling with 8 or 9. These are going to be 11 or 12 guys that could see significant minutes. And I know it's been talked about, like we talk about rotations. We talk about, he's only going to play 7 or. This is a guy who had Devin Booker coming off of the bench. This is a guy that had Reed Shepherd coming off the bench. So having an overabundance of guards or overabundance of whatever position with Coach Calipari, I have no issues with. I trust him more than others when it comes to the quality of players that we have coming in. My last part's just really about the coaching hire. I know Ty commented early. I don't know if I could even find it, but it was, the guys or the men would be, we didn't get the coach that we wanted.
Right.
Talking about GCU's, who's now at Arizona State. So by all means, like everybody, like welcome Coach Music, whatever. I'll learn it. She's coming into this kind of with a blank slate. This team is at the bottom. She was essentially left with not a whole lot. So give her grace. I don't know if we can get any worse than what we've been. So it's one of those that I have hope. She went into ORU. I think they won like 11 or 12 games first year, then went like 22-11, then 24-9. I know people have a short memory because the first thing, like on comments that I saw after she got hired, was that they had just gotten drubbed. And it's one of those things that, so what? At least she got to a postseason tournament. So, yes, I know that everybody wanted, was it Molly Miller from GCU?
Mm-hmm.
With that, she wanted NIL. Hunter Yurchek said no.
Oh. Say that again.
She wanted NIL, and Hunter Yurchek said no. So it's one of those things that I don't feel like the AD is bought into the women's basketball program. And I get it because they've been so far down. But when you look at these other schools, and you look at where Arkansas is at, you're going to have to spend money, or you're going to have to just admit that you don't give a shit about women's basketball and the women's basketball program.
Right.
So you've got to be able to, in this day and age with NIL and transfer portal and whatnot, how it is, you've got to be able to contribute something. So, honestly, after this season, seeing Arkansas State, and yes, Arkansas State got completely drug by UConn.
Facts.
But I feel sorry for Izzy Higginbottom leaving Arkansas State, coming here for this season and the season that this team had for Arkansas State to go to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
So it sucks. But from everything that's being kind of said behind the scenes is the athletic director told Miller no to NIL. So we'll see.
Thank you for that tidbit of information. And before I get to you, Mr. Hart, let you go ahead and finish what you got on Hog News. This is another reason why we need a GM. This is another reason why you need a GM to take care of all the sports. It just makes sense. All right, Mr. Hart, go ahead with your news that you got.
All right. Well, first, if you're not a member of Hog HQ on Facebook, please go join because you're going to get all the news, articles, videos during the week that you don't have on Hog HQ Live. And vice versa. If you're on the Facebook group, then join or subscribe to our YouTube page and catch the views there or the videos there. You can go back and watch them at a later time. All right. For the news, mine is baseball related. And mine is that we've had Gage Wood out for a couple weeks now with the impingement in his shoulder. And from what I'm told, he's a couple weeks left and he'll be back. He's had a little, physical therapy, rehab, whatever you want to call it, been doing that. And he's about a couple weeks out, what I'm told, and he'll be back.
All right. Definitely appreciate that. Boom. Other than that, guys, it's almost a damn wrap. We're going to get up out of here. A couple things before we get going. Premium Supply. Hit them up, get a quote, get the work done around your house. Don't forget, when you tell them that you heard about them through Hog HQ Live, and you will get that discount. So tap in with them. Also, as he stated, when you go on to YouTube, I didn't know I had to explain this. When you go on to YouTube and subscribe, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to just go. Just Hog HQ and do subscribe. And then after that, it'll show like a notification, like a thumbnail of the next show or the previous show, and it'll say notify me. You tap that. That lets you know when we go live. It'll give you a notification on your phone, on a banner, and just says, hey, this particular show that you want to watch is now live. That way,
I feel like Transplanted Texan can talk to that because he's in here like making comments 18 minutes before we go live.
Big fan.
So he's ready to go. So he gets notified.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, I did forget one video real quick. Let me find it. And that will be played on repeat.
There you go. Look, with all that being said, man, we appreciate everyone for tapping in with us this evening. Another Sunday episode of the show. Like, subscribe, chose all the notifications. Thank you, Transplanted Texan. We appreciate that. Hopefully these guys are listening at this point. If you're still here watching, go ahead and hit that button. The like, the thumb, the heart. Is he going to do it?
It's not going to do it.
It's not going to do it. All right, look. There you go. So
see if there was
yeah. So make sure, like I said, tap in on the YouTube. We're available on all the platforms in which you catch a podcast. And we appreciate you guys for locking in with us every single week. No matter the news, no matter the win or the loss, we definitely appreciate what you do because guess what? We do this for you. And we appreciate everything you do to keep us tuned in. Make sure to share this with somebody, like it, all that good old stuff. With that being said, y'all have a great work week. Happy New Year's for the ones that know. Other than that, it's spring to the rest of you. Either way, we're going to get up out of here. And we love y'all. Y'all take it light. Chris, what up, though?
Let's take a quick time out and talk about something just as important as Arkansas basketball. Your home. Our friends over at Premium Supply are like the MVPs of home improvement. They've got everything you need to make your house a slam dunk. We're talking siding, soffit, columns, windows, doors, vents, decking, the whole playbook. Whether you're building from the ground up or just doing a little home court maintenance, they've got you covered. And with locations in Conway, North Little Rock, Russellville, and Jonesboro, there's always a Premium Supply close enough for a fast break. So if you're looking for premium products with premium customer service, make your next shot count and visit www.premiumsupplyllc.com. Use promo code HOGHQ for a 5% discount on your next purchase. Premium Supply, where we treat each of our customers like one of the family.